Survivor Guatemala is a season of collapsed lungs, crocodile threats, and cramping egos. From 11-mile death marches to crocodile curses to Judd calling everyone scumbags, this season served up chaos in a jungle sauna. We're counting down the 10 wildest, weirdest, and most unforgettable moments from this underrated mess of a season. Let's dive in.
I cried. I couldn't help but just cry. She is such an inspiration.
Coming in at number 10, we have the debut of captains. Captain seasons are now a staple in the Survivor multiverse, but the very first one started right here in Guatemala, with 2 returning players from Palau, Bobby Jon and the woman who carried Oolong on her back and the CBS edit in her teeth, Stephenie LaGrossa. Yes, America had caught Stephenie fever, so when producers called her back for a second chance, they didn't just roll out the red carpet, they built her a temple. And Bobby Jon was there too, I guess.
But you know, he's kind of a little bit dumb, I guess you'd say.
This was uncharted territory. Survivor had done full all-star cast before, but never a hybrid, never a mix. 2 returning players into a sea of newbies and see what happens. Was it fair? Were the returnees instant targets, or would they just steamroll? Spoiler alert, they steamrolled. Steph made it all the way to final tribal, Bobby Jon made the jury, and in future captain seasons, Boston Rob literally won Redemption Island, and Coach meditated his way to runner-up in South Pacific. The formula was established. Give 1 or 2 veterans a second chance, and suddenly they're slaughtering the first-timers like it's the Hunger Games.
I cried. I couldn't help but just cry. She is such an inspiration.
The woman wept, the men flexed. One guy admitted he fell in love with Steph on sight. She hadn't even touched a machete yet, and already half her tribe was ready to carry her to Final 4. And sure, Bobby Jon also got applause, mostly for existing.
He's not gonna quit for anything, and he is not gonna disappoint somebody on his tribe.
Jeff laid it out plainly. Steph and Bobby Jon weren't mentors or guests, they were players. Full-fledged, torch-wielding, backstabbing players.
Let me be perfectly clear about this. Stephenie and Bobby Jon are full-fledged members of your tribe. They are players in this game.
So here's the question. Comment down below. If you were a bright-eyed newbie in Guatemala, what would you do? Hug your hero or vote her out before she signs your buff in blood? At number 9, we are highlighting the strategic genius of Gary Hogeboom. Hopkins. On Survivor Guatemala, Gary did what any former NFL quarterback turned landscaper would do. He lied through his damn teeth about it. Enter Gary Hopkins, a humble, blue-collar landscaper who just so happens to be built like a linebacker.
You know, they've asked me what I do, and I told them I was a landscaper, not a quarterback. Nobody's asked me what I did 15 years ago.
The plan made some sense in theory. If people knew he played 11 seasons in the NFL, they might not want to hand $1 million to someone who probably had 2 saunas and a boat named after himself. But the execution, comedy gold. Because guess who immediately clocked him? Danni Boatwright, sports radio host, Kansas City native, and apparently a walking pro football almanac.
I work in sports radio back in Kansas City, and Gary used to be a professional football player. So he was a quarterback.
She didn't just know he played football, she knew where he went to college. And Gary's response, oh yeah, I did go to that school, but I wasn't a quarterback.
I was in the NFL for 11 years. My real name's Gary Hogeboom. If somebody does recognize me, I'm just gonna say, it's not me. I'm Gary Hogeboom.
Ah yes, out of the thousands of NCAA programs on Earth, coincidentally, she guessed the exact school you went to, but mistook you for someone else? Sure, Gary, totally airtight plan. Even funnier, nobody actually cared. In exit interviews, Amy flat out said everyone already knew. It was just a running joke. He wasn't fooling anyone, but instead of confronting it, the tribe let him live his own fake IMDb page like it was some kind of weird group improv exercise. And yet, Gary kind of ruled. He was great in challenges, well liked around camp, and played a surprisingly solid game overall. But all of it got buried under one gloriously doomed alias, Gary frickin' Hawkins.
My girlfriend,
She's got double B. She's got big boobs.
Really?
But then she got the pill.
Yeah.
And they keep
bigger.
At number 8, we have the bait Blake strategy. Brian might have been swap screw, but he wasn't stupid. Down in the numbers and circling the drain, he devised one of the pettiest and most effective tactics Survivor had ever seen. Encourage the frat boy to talk until everyone wants him gone. Blake was already on thin ice. A solid challenge performer, sure, but socially, the human equivalent of Axe body spray. He had stories for the tribe of skydiving, older women, and his girlfriend's breast size.
I'm not even a boob man. Bobby John are talking with legs in there. That's kind of gas. Brandon? Novelty size boobs? Yeah, that.
It was like living in a locker room sponsored by Red Bull.
I have a new favorite game out here. It's called Bait Blake.
Blake, what is your absolute best drunk story?
Oh, God.
Brian called the game Bait Blake and made sure the worst stories came out in front of the swing boats.
What you're saying, Blake, is that I wouldn't want one of my $3 a day. Yeah.
No. I'm pretty feisty, Gary. You wouldn't want them anywhere near me.
And sure enough, it worked. The Golden Boy label stuck, not as a compliment, but as a target. Despite being in the majority, Blake was voted out. Brandon stayed loyal and wrote down Brian's name, but the rest of the tribe pulled the plug.
Blake, the tribe has spoken.
All Brian had to do was hand our Golden Boy Blake a shovel and wait. And oh boy did he dig. Being the Golden Boy didn't work out for Blake, but it can for you. Want to be the Golden Boy or girl of Russell Muscle TV? Well, here's your chance. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to help us in my goal to pass Russell Hanson subscribers. And hit that like button while you're at it, or else I'll send Judd to yell at you. From pretty boys to ADD boys, at number 7 we have the Judd versus Margaret fight at Tribal Council.
It's hard for
When
me
I
to keep
first
his...
walked into camp, she's telling me that I have ADD.
This was Judd at his peak. He is the human foghorn, the man who doesn't need logic when volume will do. It all starts when Margaret calmly suggests that Judd and Jamie could tone down their sportsmanship a bit. Judd hears this and immediately short circuits, vibrating in his seat like a toddler in a sugar crash.
I mean, it's not like we're being bad sportsmanships at all. We just go out there and we give it 120 damn %, man. Whatever it takes, we'll give it. And that's what I did today.
And just like that, Judd is off to the races, shouting about touchdowns, motivation, and driving the ball down the field, like he's coaching a middle school football team from inside a wind tunnel.
Judd.
You know what? You probably never played a damn sport in your life anyway, so you don't even know what it's like, man. So, you know, you should just shut up.
This is what happens all the time, though.
Margaret tries to respond, but Judd just keeps talking over her. Then he delivers the moment that cements this fight in Survivor infamy, the legendary ADD accusation.
She comes to camp. You have ADD. Do you know that? When you first meet somebody, is that something nice to say? Is that a compliment? I have ADD?
The best part, winner Danni Boatwright has admitted in post-game interviews that she was the one who said Judd had ADD. Margaret had nothing to do with it, and even if she did, Judd clearly had no idea what ADD even stands for. He then proceeds to prove Margaret's entire point in real time by asking the entire tribe if he listens to people, only to interrupt each one before they can answer.
Stephenie, when you talk to me, do I listen to you? Do I listen to you? Do I listen to you? There you go.
But this is what Judd does.
Judd bullies, and that's what he does.
It's a one-man demolition derby of logic, and somehow Jeff Probst is the only one trying not to laugh. This is Judd's magnum opus, the moment where he shouts, points, interrupts. We sure did a lot of screaming this season, didn't we? Coming in at number 6, we have the Bobby Jon and Jamie confrontation.
Let's talk about today's challenge. Jamie, what happened between you and Bobby John?
I celebrated when I won because I had so much energy, and he hates losing, so...
There are Survivor rivalries built on gameplay, betrayal, or social clashes. And then there's this. 2 southern gentlemen who absolutely lost their damn minds in a mud pit over a 6-foot rubber ball.
Down to 5 feet!
Bobby Jon, Alabama's favorite brute, is known for giving 130% in every challenge. Jamie Newton, a calm, kinda paranoid presence most of the time, also has a switch. And during the big ball challenge, those switches flipped so hard they shattered. What starts out as a routine meathead challenge becomes a full-blown testosterone meltdown. These two are inches from each other's faces, flailing, shrieking, sweating, and exchanging absolutely no coherent words. Just spit. They both walked away looking concussed, damp, and emotionally bankrupt, like two college football mascots who fought behind a Waffle House at 3 a.m.
My face and started screaming just because I was happy because we won. So I started screaming back. I thought I was about to go to blows, you know. Just Southern people, we're crazy and we know it.
This wasn't a challenge, it was an unpaid WWE internship. And the winner of the Bobby Jon versus Jamie feud, everyone who watched from home.
I normally don't believe in superstitions, but I also want them to have cars.
At number 5, we have the moment Cindy Hall took the wheel straight into Survivor infamy. After 36 days of hauling firewood, babysitting Judd, and being generally decent at everything, Cindy wins what is arguably the most cursed reward in Survivor history, the car. Survivor nerds already know where this is going, because up to this point in the show's history, every player who won a car had also won a lovely parting gift, a one-way trip to the jury. And Jeff Probst, always one for psychological warfare, takes it a step further. He offers Sydney the chance to give up her new ride and instead give everyone else a car. 4 cars, 4 guaranteed besties, 4 jury votes, maybe, or keep the car and pray for a miracle. Cindy doesn't flinch. Despite being a super fan of the show and wanting to be on Survivor for years, Sydney just can't help herself but choosing to keep the car for herself after winning the reward.
There are no guarantees. They're not going to give you $1 million because you gave them a car. Through the curse. So I took the car.
And in that moment, she sealed her fate and her leather seats. Look, it's easy to armchair this decision, but Sydney wasn't wrong. If she gave away 4 cars, the tribe would have sent her home immediately for being too likable. If she kept the car, well, she was already on the chopping block. There was no winning here. Still, the rest of the tribe, besides Stephenie, acted scandalized. Rafe basically had an existential crisis over it. Danni kept muttering, "I would have given the cars away," like she wasn't also plotting Sydney's funeral the entire time. But the best part, Sydney doesn't care. She owns the decision and still owns that car. Literally, she still drives it. She once did a full Talking with T-Bird interview about all the adventures she took that car on after the show.
Sydney, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go.
At number 4, we have the villainy of America's sweetheart. On Survivor Palau, Stephenie LaGrossa was the scrappy tomboy who outlasted her entire tribe. The underdog who fought through every loss with grit, integrity, and grace. The fan base adored her. And then Guatemala happened. Even though Danni Boatwright won the $1 million, this season's focus revolved around explaining why Stephenie didn't. And boy, did the footage deliver. The cracks start early.
Bobby Jon's in the car kicking his legs, cheering like a freaking girl. I wanted to knock him out.
This gem comes after her tribe loses a reward challenge, and instead of quietly sulking like a normal person, she decides to spit venom about Bobby Jon's celebration, which, to be fair, was a little obnoxious, but probably not worth low-key threatening a concussion over. Then she doubles down with this.
He's so gay. He gets so gay. I can't stand it. Right, like, get over it.
Stephenie, your #1 ally is literally Rafe. In a statement that's aged like a jar of mayonnaise in the Guatemala sun, she casually drops a statement that left even 2005 audiences cringing. And that's saying something. As the game wears on, the edit becomes increasingly less flattering. Stephenie is hangry, she's resentful, she gets snippy when things don't go her way. And by the merge, her fierce competitor vibe has fully morphed into the tribe Karen.
Steph, the first casualty.
Jealousy gets you nowhere.
I'm hungry. I want to eat.
It's about that.
Steph not happy at all with that, Lydia.
After Lydia knocks Steph out of a challenge and wins a reward, some skewered meat and mojitos, Stephenie takes it very personally.
Lydia was fed up because I've won so many food rewards and she's starving out here. Well, boo-hoo for Lydia. I'm sick of hearing your crap. You're lucky you're still in the game.
It only gets worse.
I ate, so I had 1 extra and that was not a reward. Because everybody's talking Stephenie's eating so much. I'm so upset that Stephenie's winning all these rewards. And I don't want to hear any more about it.
And yet she came back for Heroes vs. Villains as a hero. And we will soon see her again on Survivor 50. Because here's the real kicker. The edit controls the narrative. Production doesn't want you to remember this version. Jeff Probst certainly doesn't. And the show itself rarely acknowledges it ever happened.
Oh my God, Gary.
Oh man, good job, Gary.
I knew it.
At number 3, the hidden immunity idol. And it makes its debut right here in Survivor Guatemala.
There's a small individual immunity idol hidden in the woods.
The tribe learns that somewhere out there in the jungle is a small trinket that could save your game. No need to tell anyone if you find it. Just present it before the vote and boom, you're safe. Naturally, this sets off a frantic scramble, especially from the folks on the bottom like Gary. But searching for a tiny object in a massive jungle, it's not easy.
I'm searching for the immunity idol, and I reach up and put my hand like in a hornet's nest.
That's right, Wraith nearly sacrifices his life for this thing. He reaches directly into a hornet's nest. Judd ends up winning a reward and is handed something even more dangerous than the idol itself, a clue.
For you and you only, a clue to the hidden immunity idol.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well earned.
The clue, it's hidden in the trees. So what does Judd do next? He walks back to camp, gathers the rest of the tribe, and confidently lies through his crooked teeth.
So to speak. I mean, I can't give away too many clues because I'm trying to save my own ass, but it is totally on the ground.
So now half the tribe is digging holes like feral raccoons, while Judd and his cronies casually scan the treetops. And if you think Judd's subtlety was fooling anyone, think again.
I think it's pretty amazing that Judd told everybody the clue that it's on the ground. And I followed him back here and he's looking in the trees.
Busted. So what does Gary do? He takes a page out of the NFL playbook and throws a Hail Mary. He searches high, not low, and actually finds the idol, but he says nothing. Because he's Gary, I'm not really an ex-quarterback. Cut to tribal council and then...
Oh my God, Gary.
Oh man, good job, Gary.
I knew it.
Boom, idol play, gasps, chaos, Stephenie shrieks, and Judd has to sit there stewing in the fact that he just got played harder than his steak at the reward feast.
Voted out of Survivor Guatemala. Judd.
Thanks, guys. Hope you guys all get bit by a freaking crocodile. Scumbags.
Coming in at number 2, it's Judd's iconic scumbag line. It's a betrayal so cold it could refrigerate the entire Guatemalan jungle. For weeks, Stephenie LaGrossa kept Judd close. Not just close, but loyal lapdog close. She showered him with reassurance. She brought him along on rewards. And earlier this very episode, she straight up handed him a loved one's visit, letting him spend the night with his wife at camp. It was sweet, heartwarming even, and also the perfect way to lull him into a false sense of security before cutting his throat at tribal. Big mistake.
That's what we're here for. I mean, the only way you move on is somebody goes home. No hard feelings, but deal with it. That's basically the way I look at it. If somebody goes home, that's better for me.
Unfortunately for Judd, he was the somebody, and when his name came up again and again at tribal, he didn't go out with grace, he went out with fury.
Voted out of Survivor Guatemala. Judd.
Thanks, guys. Hope you guys all get bit by a freaking crocodile. Scumbags.
Coming in at number 1, it's the moment that launched an entire season of misery. The legendary opening trek. Right out of the gate, Survivor Guatemala said, screw your sandals, this is hell terrain now. No marooning, no boat, just 18 strangers, plus 2 Palau castaways, handed corn and fruit and told to hike 11 miles through sweltering, snake-riddled jungle.
Survivor Guatemala is set to begin. Survivors ready. Go!
Within minutes, water rations ran dry, morale collapsed, and Blake got impaled by a tree.
Just slowing me down. Thorns went deep inside, and I think I'm a little dehydrated. My body, my hands a little tingly, and I'll be right.
And that wasn't even the low point.
Old Judd jumps out of the boat. He had a premature evacuation, and he gets into this mud that's almost like quicksand.
Judd literally hurled himself out of the canoe, face planted into a bog, and was declared prematurely evacuated. Somehow, through sheer will, it came down to the final moments for who would earn the better camp.
Welcome, Nakúm. Congratulations.
It was a full-on tone setter. Survivor Guatemala never let up. It all started with the hardest, hottest, most horrifying challenge the show had ever thrown at new players. And if you survived this video, you deserve a reward. How about you check out the top 10 moments of Survivor Exile Island?